All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem, Mahakadash. Double honor to the oaths and apostles and great ministers. Blessings to the outcome and our basically following this word, pursuing his truth, rehearsing the righteous acts, pushing to get up out here. Yahweh's name of Heavenly Father, it means he is. Yahweh Shai's the name of his Son, it means he is who saves. Rahakadash is the name of the Holy Spirit in Hebrew. As the elder apostle Tahar said, you miss a day, you miss a lot. So what's actually happening right now is the fall of Amalek, man. Amalek, the least of the flock shall draw them out. Let's see if you've got scripture like this. Jeremiah 49. Therefore, I heard account of the Lord that he had taken against Edom and his purposes, and he hath purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with. And it's in 50 as well. Desolate with them. The earth is moved at the moment of his fall. You know, this Amalek, the youngest child of grandchild of Esau Edom. No, the youngest son of Esau. After his little children. I've got it here. Just got the house of Judah. But I believe that Esau Edom had a child, Ephanaz, I think. And Ephanaz had a concubine, Teman, which is why it says a bastard child dwell in Ashdod. Because as a concubine, he didn't get no name. He didn't have a name under which he didn't have his father's name. He didn't inherit that. So a bastard that dwells in Ashdod, and we look at Ashdod and who dwells there today, you see. And also, as the youngest child, we know that he's the least. You see, when you see a litter of sheep, the last one to come out is often called the run. So that's the youngest. The youngest to be born is the run. So the least of the flock is Amalek, the flock of Esau. Let's see what Jeremiah 50 says. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord. He hath taken against Babylon and his purposes, that his purpose against the land of her Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make his habitation desolate. And the least of the flock shall draw them out is a saying, you know? It's a saying from, you know, the shepherd times. You know, the usually when you call the sheep back from the field, from the pasture, it's the youngest ones that come first, the old nags and that, a bit more stubborn and that. But they're using this phrase to talk about Amalek, which is why it's repeated. You know, I believe this is what I think. Anyway, I believe it was a common phrase in them times. Like they say, a stitch in time saves nine, right? Like they say it today. In those days, they would say the least of the flock draws out the sheep. You know, that's a common term. But they're using this again for Amalek. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Amalek being the youngest. Let's get Jeremiah 31. Isaiah 51 maybe. At the same time said the Lord, I will be a God of all the families of Israel, and they shall be my people. We're moving out at the time of the downfall of Edom and into the blessings of Jacob. And this is what's going to draw, you know, Esau's perpetual hatred and his perpetual anger and his perpetual jealousy to Jacob's trouble. It says in Revelation, the devil, you know, is come down upon you having great wrath because he knows you have little time. So right now we're seeing the devil is going to make his move. You know, but Jacob is going to be blessed because it says here you know, I shall be their God and he shall be my people. That's somewhere else, but and at the same time, and it's also something else. I will be the God of all the families of Israel, and they shall be my people. Thus said the Lord, the people which are left of the sword found grace in the wilderness, even Israel, when I went to cause him to rest. The Lord has appeared of old unto me, saying, yea, I have loved thee with everlasting love. Therefore, with the loving kindness have I drawn thee out. You know, so the loving kindness is you know, he's drawing us out again, just as Amalek is drawing out the nations into the Middle East to war. The Lord is drawing out the last remnants of Israel unto salvation. You know, and we have to remember who these people are. It's Judah, African American Negroes, Benjamin, the Jamaicans and West Indians, Levi, the Haitians, Reuben, Seminole Indians and Aboriginals of Australia, Issachar, Mexicans, Nepali, the Hawaiians, South Pacific Islanders, Manasseh, Cubans, Zebulun, the Guatemalans, Panamanians and Colombians, Simeon, which are the Dominicans, Asher, which are the Venezuelans, Brazilians and Argentinians, Ephraim, Puerto Ricans and Gad, North American Indians. We're getting their blessings back. We're getting us. You could feel it. I mean, if you're just watching the world, you can feel the shift in power, and you can feel even as Esau is losing his power. You know, he's trying to fight against it. He's trying to manipulate the stock markets. He's trying to manipulate the oil markets. He's trying to rig the game. But it says in Habakkuk 2:16, is it? Where's my Habakkuk? Says, oh, thou art filled with shameful glory, drink thou also, and let thy forcefully be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. So even as Esau Edom is trying to roll out his show that he's still on top, they're just shameful spewing. All the Epstein files are spewing all over the place. It ain't just about Epstein, man. It's about pissing me about, man, and their kind of game being exposed. And everybody, a lot of people know that. Ain't Epstein. They probably got Epstein's replacement already now. Just because, you know, there's no reason for a man to write emails to himself. That's what I'm going to say there. But I want to talk about Habakkuk as well, because it says the vision is set from this point in time. I think that's Habakkuk. Let's see, Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And this is an example of how the scriptures are written in code. It seems to contradict itself. It says, though it tarry, and then it will not tarry. It's like, though it's being long, though it feels like it's being long, wait for it, because it's set for an appointed time. The market, the time of the end of Esau is on the calendar. You know, like, Esau, Edom, in his reincarnations, was always pleading for more time. He's always deferred his judgment. It's always put in layaway. When Esau slew Cain, he begged, and then Cain slew Abel, so he begged for mercy. And the Lord put it. But you know, everybody has got to pay their dues. It ain't like that. Unless the Lord allow it. But generally, everybody got to pay their dues. The Lord had mercy on David. But generally, unless he gives you that thing, you got to pay. So Esau had his sin on Labour. When he slew Cain, when Cain slew Abel, he begged for mercy. He put a mark on him. They put that white skin in him, so that he could, so that people know not to slay him. And when Esau sold his birthright, begged for mercy. Isaac said, all right, I'll let you have your time. You rule the world, I'll give you this blessing of the sword. Wait. Do you see what Isaac says to Esau? And when 27 and 34, and when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry. This is the same guy who plotting to kill his brother. He sold his birthright for a pot of meat and then plotted to kill his brother. So really, he's ready to kill his brother over a pot of meat. That's how profane this guy is, you know. And you can see the same actions because Donald Trump, he's ready to destroy the whole world because he don't want the Epstein files to get out, or because he doesn't want to lose power, or because he doesn't want to go. He don't mind. He don't care. That's how profane these people are, man. And Isaac said to him, who art thou? And he said, no, 34. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry. And he said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety and had taken away thy blessing. And he said, is he not rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplied these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, he hath taken away my blessing. And thou not a blessing for me. So he was dead. Does this shit, and he's always trying to get out of it. You know, and that's what, you know what, watch the run-ins, right? Now that, what's it called? Trump is on his last day, America's on his last legs. Watch how they turn around and start crying. Watch how when they start losing this battle, losing these wars, watch how they start begging and start crying, saying that, you know, things ain't fair, and asking for mercy. You know, there was even that there was I saw what's it called, a Twitter post from some small hats saying, Iran, please stop, you win, please begging for mercy. That's the nature, man. It's the nature. They say apple don't fall far from the tree, you know. He says in the scriptures, you have your father the devil, the lust of your father you shall do is a lie from the beginning. So basically, you do the same shit like your dad. You know, the generations, the nations have the same energy. So if you want to know who Esau Edom is, see who's got that same lying energy, who covets, fills by violence. It's all there in the scriptures, man. You know, I just want to go into the name Yahweh a little bit because oh, so I think it was either Mark 1 or Matthew 1. Let's go back. Go into that and you're going to shut up. Because we were to So it says, and Jacob begat. So Matthew 1 and Mark 1. Let's have a look at Mark 1 just in case. Is it Mark 1 and 11, isn't it? Matthew 1:16. Let's just see if we can get that in my sword. So it breaks down the words. I swear it's like the seal today, like to see. I swear that this is a done deal. We're just waiting for the family of the word, man. Just like Zechariah 9:6, I kind of just got my attention just to see. Oh, the bastard should run there. But I covered them. I think one of them. Now, it says here, Jesus is that's the Greek. So you see those Greek characters there. So we gotta go deeper than that. It says here, definition of origin. Yehoshua, and it's getting closer now. Yeah, you see that what's it got twice? Yehoshua. What's that? So, yeah, here we go. YHWH. Yahweh. The first character, read it from the right to the left. Yot, the jot. When the Lord said one jot, one tilt, will take the Lord. The name of Yahweh starts with that jot. A little looks like an apostrophe there. Can't see my screen just a little bit. There. That's the Yah. The next one is the Ha. The next one is the Wa. And the next one after that is the Ha again. But because there's a thing in a lot of languages called diphthongs, where you've got two sometimes two consonants, mostly two vowels next to each other. You drop the first one, so it becomes Yahweh. Now, this is a proof that the name isn't Yehoshua or whatever they say, because the two characters, you see, if you look at those four characters, two of them are the same. That means that there needs to be two sounds the same. Now, if you look at Yehoshua, that Yehoshua, Yehoshua, Yehoshua. All three sounds are different. Yehoshua. Yeah, they're all different. Yehoshua. They're all different sounds. So how can it be composed of four characters having this, the two of which have the same sound? That's why we get Yahweh. And there's more. I've got a whole video on why the meaning of Yahweh is such, you know. And see that they've got the Yahweh Shai there. They haven't got the Yahweh Shai there. But I just wanted to go over that because that is critical. It's in plain sight. Anybody, Yeshua, Yeshua. Those are three different sounds. How can three different sounds come out of a word that has two characters the same? So, no, that those ones are out. So So when you hear when you hear Yeshua, all this sort of stuff, you know it's real. There's a name Joshua, which is a name Yeshua. Is a name in the Bible, Joshua, that's different from the anyway. That's all I kind of wanted to say in that part of here. This is it. I feel like the prophets, elders, and apostles, they come to the finish line, but we gotta push past the finish line. We don't want to be one of them cats who runs a marathon and drops right. See that a few times. They're so exhausted by the time they get to the finish line. You gotta push past it. Keep your eye on the prize. It says in the scriptures, "He that hath endured to the end, the same shall be saved." So we gotta push all the way past the scriptures. Past the end, man. Keep your eye on the prize until the shutdown comes. Our Lord draws back His people, but it ain't gonna be too long, man. Even now, the digital ID, so in the UK, they used to have the poll tax, and there was poll tax riots, and then they brought it back as council tax. And for some reason, they realised that when people rioted against something, and then they rename it and bring it back, people don't seem to rise up against. So the same thing happened with the digital ID. They introduced the mandatory digital ID a few months ago. There was a big guffaw over it. Now it's less mandatory, it's optional. Just like the stipulations and inconveniences. And then it's looking like it's going to go through this time. So the digital ID is here to play. All the main characters are in the last scene for this finale, man. You just have to keep watching it going, because this is it. We're at the end of the end, and it's not the end. It's the end of Esau's kingdom and the beginning of Jacob. It says in the scriptures, Jacob is the end of the world, and Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of the one that followed. Second Esdras. But see that, I'm going to see the second Esdras 15, and we're going to cut, and then we're going to see where else we go with this. I've got to go back to my other app, because I don't have it properly. Second Esdras 15. It says, "Behold, speak thou into the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I put in the mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not their imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee, for they are unfaithful, shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, the famine, death, and destruction." And this war, man, this ain't gonna be like the Afghan war, where you're just sitting at home eating Pringles, watching like a film, like a war film. This shit's gonna be affecting everybody. "For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and the hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, said the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness." The Lord is patient, man. Lord being patient, watching these people fuck up, adding it to the tab. Esau's been fucking up for centuries, and Lord just been adding it to the tab. You just be like, okay, you gotta pay for that. Yeah, that one's got, you got the children. Oh, you put them in slavery. Okay, you're gonna have to pay for that. And now the check's about to be brought to the table. Esau ain't got nothing in his wallet. "For the wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, said the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more, and such in their wickedness. They are profaning to commit evil, will I suffer them in those things which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth out to me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And therefore, said the Lord, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them." All that innocent blood, that's been a lot of innocent blood shed. Not even talking about all the children them that was Epstein and his pals have been looking at, all the missings, all the slaves, all the people that get screwed by economic trickery. All my people deserters have flocked to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before. So, Egypt was so, it says in the scriptures, think of Revelation now, Babylon is Egypt, So we know that it's going to be, and that they're going to be smitten with plagues before, so they need to know, and they do know, the elites do know, they do know that where this is coming from and why. Let's get into Isaiah 51. Saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them, and rise up against them a destroying wind, and I will send unto Babylon. You can't fight the wind, right? And I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up his brigandine, and spare not her young men, destroy ye utterly her hosts. So the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in the streets. So we're going to see a lot of death. But these are the birth pangs. I feel like just the sun is coming out, Passover's coming out, work getting the gate again. Sweep the house at 11, clean up your heart, renew yourself, even as the years be. You're going to get fresh. Grace, love, and mercy, friendship, beautiful mercy and redemption of Yahweh Shai to help us with our imperfections, not our little imperfections, our great imperfections, man, so that we may be present as a clean bride for the unification of Israel and his God. Beautiful, man. It's beautiful and a very special time. What a time to be born. What a time to be alive. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rahakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and who rule well. Peace and blessings to the Akim and Akwaf. Shalom.